Yes, in the frame of revising PBL for the new normal. I am glad you choose to join this webinar. I am Imen Taktak Marzouk, Twinning Ambassador, and I will be the speaker with my co-founder Emese from Romania. I will start by the project overview. The Green Behavior Code is an e-twinning project. In fact, e-twinning offers a platform for staff, teachers, head teachers, librarians, etc., to communicate, collaborate, develop projects, share, and in short, feel and be part of the most exciting learning community in Europe. E-twinning is co-funded by the Erasmus+, the European Programme for Education Training. The Green Behavior Code, in this project, we want to make our pupils aware that our behaviors affect deeply the environment. They think about alternative behaviors more illustrative to the environment. In fact, the pupils focus on the environment and environmental problems and risks in our countries and compare with partners using online collaborative tools. Pupils work in international teams to propose solutions and more attentive behavior and habits. Each team brainstorms via Pixton class. Then they use the stories and avatars created collaboratively to be coded using Scratch. In fact, Scratch is a visual programming language that lets students create their own interactive stories, games, and animations. As students design Scratch projects, they learn to think creatively, reason systematically, and work collaboratively. Each team has a Scratch studio to collaborate together in order to obtain a collaborative code. Our purpose is to produce a green behavior code to spread around the community. And we have made a live event among students in which each team presents their code. Pupils vote for the best green behavior code that will be our commitment to protect our environment. And this project, Green Behavior Code, involves 4 countries from Spain, Italy, Romania, and Tunisia, with 105 students and 4 teachers. We will move to the aims of the project. At the end of the project, the students will be able to raise awareness about environment and lifestyle. We try to promote diversity and make them more appreciative of what they have. We try to improve learning how to program a concrete code and also to develop the pupils' coding skills. And also we try to develop students' entrepreneurial behavior and attitudes and train pupils to be active members in civil society. We have not only key competences for students, but also for teachers. For students, we try to improve problem solving and decision-making skills by engaging them in cooperation and stimulating creative activities. We try to have students more responsible by developing a critical thinking while searching, selecting, organizing, and evaluating information. And also we try to enhance the leadership of the students. For the teachers, we try to develop our competences in science through mutual support in introducing learning environment, in working with our students, and also we try to improve our leadership. For the expected results of our project, by the end of the project, the students have created positive behaviors and habits, discovered new online apps and tools, worked collaboratively, improve their digital skills and building. Sorry. So try to mute your microphone. Thank you. And finally, we try to have a common product. As a result of our collaborative work, we obtain 9 collaborative Scratch codes. The schools in this project, we have 4 teachers. Emese from Romania with 17 students, Roberto from Spain with 20 students, Maria Pia from Italy with 26 students, and me, Imen Taktak from Tunisia with 29 students. Okay, so I will show you the work process of our project. In fact, we start the project in November. In November, December, January, we have made some ice-breaking activities for students so that they feel more relaxed together. The first activity named How are you? And the second activity is named What I know about you. And we have made also some online Christmas cards to celebrate the New Year 2021. In February, March, students create collaborative code of conduct in which a few ground rules are mentioned to keep this space safe for us, done in collaborative way by our students. We have made a live event among students to present this code of conduct and to celebrate also the Safer Internet Day 2021. We have made transnational groups. In fact, students share their Scratch presentation and their Scratch studio, and partners choose the groups according to the students' project. Each team work on forums to focus on the misinformation related to the environment issues. And each team worked on Pixton via team class, in which each team members brainstorm, think about ideas and solutions to solve the Earth from natural and human disasters. In April, May, we have made code for green behavior using Scratch. Pupils work in international teams to propose solutions and more attentive behavior and habits. In fact, our purpose is to produce a green behavior code to spread around the community. The codes are done through Scratch program collaboratively. And finally, pupils vote for the best green behavior code that will be our commitment to protect our environment. The vote was done via a live event. And in June, we have made some dissemination and evaluation, students evaluation, teachers evaluations, and also parents evaluation. We move now to our first collaborative activity, which is named Code of Conduct. As the first collaborative activity that we have done in our project in order to specify the netiquette to be followed by students while surfing the net and the twin space too safely. As you can see here, each teacher presents the idea to their students in the class or online so that they can access to a same document to add their thoughts about netiquette and cyber safety. And finally, we obtain this code of conduct done collaboratively between all the students of the project. This document represents our digital law and etiquette of our project. So as you can see here, some slides of the students of the project. We move now to the ice-breaking activities. In fact, we have made some activities for students so that they feel more relaxed together. The first activity is named Who We Are. Each class takes a photo of themselves, turn it into jigsaw puzzle using jigsawplanet.com, and add the link of the twin board below. The twin board is a collaborative place in the page in the twin space, and the twin space is a secured space for our project in which students, teachers can interact together. Partners click on the links to do the jigsaw puzzles and meet partner classes. I will show you an example. For example, I will take the jigsaw of Roberto class, from Spain. So Tunisian students, Romanian students, and Italian students should complete the puzzles to have the class photo of Roberto class. The same thing for the other classes. The second activity is named What You Know About My Country. Students brainstorm what they know about their partners' countries via scratch codes, and we share all our products in the tween board of the page. I will show you some examples. For example, I will show you the Spanish work, the Spanish students' work. They try to code some scratch codes to brainstorm and talk about the common things between Tunisia, Spain, between Romania, Spain, between Italy and Spain. And they share these codes under a place named Scratch Studio. Our second collaborative activity is named Working with International Teams of Students. We have made international collaboration. I will explain the process. The idea of this international collaboration consists in creating a green behavior code, a common green behavior code using Scratch program. First, students of each team use forums to brainstorm about the misinformation related to the nature and search the right news. Why misinformation? Why media literacy? Because it was the annual team, e-twinning annual team of last year. This activity helps them knowledge the benefits of digital communities and resources while guiding them to successfully navigate potential pitfalls in their digital lives. Second, students of each team use Pixon to create class per team, in which they create creative stories related to nature and green. This activity helps them enhance their imagination and offers them new original ideas to be used later in coding. Third step, students of each team use the images already created in their Pixton teams as backdrops to their Scratch codes. In fact, Romanian students start coding, of course, of each team, start coding an idea related to the earth protection, then they share them to the Scratch studio of their team. Then Italian students open the last code, click on Remix button. Then they continue developing the Romanian idea by adding their thoughts. Tunisian students open the Italian code, click on Remix button, then they continue coding. And finally, Spanish students open the Tunisian code, click on Remix, and complete coding. In fact, each team will have its green behavior code. We obtain 9 Scratch codes because we have 9 teams. And a live event was scheduled to vote for the best code to be our commitment as green behavior. How the teams are constituted. In fact, pupils, all the pupils of the project share their Scratch presentation in which they introduce themselves, their hobbies, their ambitions, their future job. I will show you an example of my students. These are the Scratch project of my students. They present themselves. They talk about their hobbies, their future job, their ambitions. Then according to the students' presentations, we have made these analyses. I will show you these analyses. So these are for Italian students. We make a table with names, hobbies, ambitions, and we color the same hobbies and the same ambitions. The same thing with Romanian students. We have made the same thing for Tunisian students, and for Spanish students. Then, according to the final analysis, we have obtained these multinational groups. In fact, we have team one with 6 Romanian students, 3 Spanish students, 3 Italian students, and 3 Tunisian students. And for each team, we have a forum, a Scratch studio, and Pixton class. This is for team 1, team 2, same thing for team 3, etc. And team 9. We have finally 9 teams. I will show you an example of teamwork. For example, I choose team 7. Team 7 has worked on SDG 13, climate change. In fact, the first step is working on forums. Students start their work by brainstorming activity about media literacy and misinformation, which was the e-twinning annual theme of last year, in which they share their strategies of images analysis. In fact, they access to the Team 7 forum in order to focus on the following image and tell us if it is true or fake news with justification. I will show you the link of the forum in the twin space. This is the twin space of the project. It's a space, secured space for e-twinning project, Green Behavior Code. And this is the Team 7's forum, in which each student of this team interact together, brainstorm, etc. The second step, this small activity is to learn about media literacy, etc. And these are some screenshots of students' interaction in their team forum. Second step was about creating stories with Pixton. Students of Team 7 use Pixton to create creative stories related to nature and green. This activity helps them enhance their imagination and offers them new original ideas to be used later in coding. These are the students' comics of Team 7. Okay, this is the Team 7. This is Roberto, me, Imen, Emese, and Maria Pia. And these are the students of Team 7. For example, this is an example of a story created by one student of Team 7 via Pixton class. Each team has a Pixton class in which they brainstorm, they create stories, they make avatars, etc. The third step is to create collaborative green behavior code. Students of Team 7 use the images already created in their Pixton teams as backdrops to their Scratch codes. In fact, Scratch Studio is created for Team 7 to let teams members code collaboratively. I will show you the link of the Scratch Studio of Team 7. As you can see here, we have Team 7 green behavior code. We have the photo of Team 7, and we have the name, students' names of Team 7 from Romania, Spain, Italy, Tunisia, and we have the codes of students' team. Okay, I will explain how it is work. First, Romanian students of Team 7 start coding an idea about ecology life. Then they share it into the Scratch Studio of their team. Italian students open the last code, click on Remix button. As you can see here, we have the Remix button. Then they continue developing the Romanian idea by adding some backdrops in the coding. Then Tunisian students open the Italian code, click on Remix button, then they continue coding. In fact, my students give peace tips to preserve and save our environment. And finally, Spanish students open the Tunisian code, click on Remix button, then they continue coding. They enrich the code by adding their thoughts about ecology life. And this is the final code written collaboratively by the students of Team 7. I will show you the video. Just, I don't know if the sound...
Follow some basic rules.
It's okay, but no problem. Just... Yes, you can hear the sound?
You can hear.
Yes, excellent. Okay, so now I will give the floor to my co-founder Emese to talk about final products of the project. The floor is for you, Emese. I will stop sharing.
First of all, I want to tell you all that I am honored for being here tonight, for being here with all of you tonight. Let me just share my presentation, and then please tell me if you can see what I'm sharing. Is it okay?
Yes.
Yes, we can see that. Yeah.
Okay. So my friend Imen has presented you very clear insight into our project, showing you the work we have been doing with our project partners, and I think that you got an idea of the volume of the work that had to be done in order to have the 9 green behavior codes. So each team worked the same as the team 7 that Imen presented already, and I will just open a few of the codes without sound, because you will have the links and you will have the chance to see them all if you want to. But just that you should have an insight of the work that has been done in each of the teams, in order to come with green behavior code and valid presentations for each of their works. What is very important, and my colleague already mentioned, is the fact that we were working in transnational teams, and all the work has been done collaboratively. So there were 4 teams working in the same time in order to create the green behavior code. Here you can see the work of team 2. I will open it just for a second. So they talk about pollution and where they get their information from, and so on. And I will open them also, just so that for you to see that they are different, because the teams were different and their ideas were truly innovative. And we promised with Imen to share all the links for you to see. It has been an intensive work, and as my colleague pointed out, they reuse all the work from Pixton classes and all their knowledge they acquired during our project. Here you can see the work done by team 4. Here is an image from team 5. Team 6. Let me just start it for a while so that you see the diversity of ideas and of work. You have already seen a piece of the work done by team 7, so I won't insist on it, and I will leave the final ones for you to view it, because it's the winning green behavior code. And I will open it and tell you that students voted for their favorite green behavior code, and team 8 was the winning code. Therefore, I will leave it for a while for you to see how complex their work was, and how presented it. Just let me know if the sound is okay.
Can't hear. Please check, it might be turned off.
Emese, we cannot hear. There are no sound. There is no sound.
If you can't hear, then I will move on so that I won't take from the time. I think you have seen a few images from the winning video, and we promise to share the links at the end of the presentation. Imen has already shown you our collaborative code of conduct about digital law and etiquette. This was worked as every product we have developed during this project collaboratively, and you can see here work done by students from Tunisia, and we have almost 60 slides. Work done by students from Spain, and every student and every class expressed themselves as they wanted, as they felt like. Some of them wrote words, others drew. But what's the most important, that the green behavior, that the code of conduct that they have chosen, the digital law and etiquette, was theirs, and they truly respected it. So this is just an example of how they work collaboratively on slides, and this is the winning code of green behavior code, the winner team 8. As Imen told you, we voted for it, and students opted to have it as their favorite. We did communicate a lot, and it was a tremendous collaboration between the project partners, because we felt like communication is an important element of our project. It allowed us to implement the activities in all our schools in the same time, and to achieve the planned learning outcomes with great satisfaction. I just want to point it out that we did a great work, even if we were working. Some of the students were in face-to-face learning, Tunisian students, for example. Mine were online, were learning online, and maybe you have seen in the pictures that Imen showed you that some of the students are in classes, and in other images with teachers, there are students who entered from their homes to join the project. So it was really a great communication, and you can see here the live events between students. Exactly what I was telling you about. My students are one by one from their homes. This first live event was about how to realize our code of conduct. And this is where students met with their project partners, brainstormed about the green behavior, presented the code of conduct achieved in the etiquette part, the slides they were working on collaboratively. And of course, we had a game to celebrate Safer Internet Day together. Another live event was when we worked on the green behavior code. You see here how the students present their collaborative works. I will just open one presentation from Team 8 to see how convincing the students are on presenting their work. And this is another one, Team 9 presentation. They present their work, they present the work process, and of course ask their peers to vote for their green behavior code. It was interesting because they relied on themselves, and each country had the chance to present the work that has been done in the project. As I was telling you, the voting for the green behavior that represents our project was done through Mentimeter, and all the students participated. You can see their favorite. Team 8 was the one who won and obtained the maximum of votes. The code of the Team 8 is our green behavior code, which represents the behavior that minimizes harm to the environment as much as possible. It is our students and teachers' commitment to a greener earth. And here you can see the video from the voting live event. During the distance learning period, we continued working on the project, and because it was important to finish all the activities, to scaffold all the activities carefully. Here you can see some images from the online meetings with our students. As I was telling you, nothing stopped us. It was a full year of commitment and collaboration, which I am very, very grateful for. Not just students met online, teachers met online as well, as many times it was needed. You see here a few images from partners meetings, and of course the twin space of our project where we kept the records of them. And also it was very, very important for us to speak about the project, to speak about the outcomes of our project, and we tried to do it as many times we did in our national and international environments. So you see here a presentation of our work on school websites, also on national webinars, during Safer Internet Day, for instance, regional conferences. You see here a presentation I have done in for Romanian teachers. Also in February for Romanian teachers. Different teachers from different schools and different environments, and it was very important for our project to be presented, to be seen not only by colleagues, to be inspired, because it was important for us to give the good word, but from representatives from national level. For instance, here you can see dissemination where that was done for our inspector for educational projects from Bistrița South County. So she was there and she supported our work, and that we found it was very, very important. Then for the 7th conference, for the 7th Creative Classroom Conference, both Imen and I presented our project, so that on European level, our achievements, we felt like it's important to be known, it's important to be presented and disseminated. This video resumes our activities integrating the annual theme, media literacy and disinformation. It was the one presented for the conference. Also, presentations organized by Tunisian NSO. Imen has been very, very active and presented the project on national level for so many times. We wrote about our project and about the achievements. For example, for the visibility of e-twinning project newsletter, and we really consider it's important for others to reuse what we have done. Here you can see our project on YouTube channel, and also dissemination done on Facebook. Evaluation of the project, we considered its importance, so we asked teachers, we asked the students to answer our questions, because we really wanted to see how they collaborated, how the project was perceived by them, and how the activities of our project impacted their day-to-day life. So here you see a few answers from teacher evaluation, and here you can see the images from from the students' evaluation. It's a Menti with their answers. And my students and my colleague students are eager to start collaborating and working on another project in the future as well, because they really felt like this project helped them evolve. I personally, as a Romanian language and literature student, consider that I learned a lot and developed a lot because my students became a very, very important part of this project, because they didn't just get a theme and they had to work on it. They were actively contributing to the project. And I think that our final product and all the activities we have on TwinSpace show that. I mean, students were really, really part of our project, and parents felt it's our project was an important project for their children, and for how it impacted their well-being and their personalities. Also, the project already received the national quality label in Spain. We are waiting for the evaluation in Romania and in Tunisia and Italy, but we hope that our project is going to be an inspiration for everyone. I mean, the work we have done is available to anyone interested in how to work collaboratively. And I am just honored and thankful that I had the chance to work with 3 amazing teacher colleagues who helped me grow professionally as well. My students are eager to collaborate and work with the teams in the future again. And I and Imen, I think we are ready for your questions and here to inspire you if you found something interesting in the work we have done. Thank you so much for your attention.
Great, thank you. Thanks. Thanks for the inspiring and enriching presentation. Thanks to both of you. Yes, I want to tell Imen that I love the way you speak English. That's so fluent. I like it.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, that's really an enriching presentation, and I guess you need to give us a training on Pixton and Scratch and Jigsaw Planet, and you've been mentioning things that some colleagues maybe don't know much about. Okay, so maybe we can plan other webinars on that. Yes, will you? Yes, Mrs. Imen, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I've just said that you need to give us a training on Pixton and Scratch and Jigsaw Planet.
Okay, yes, with pleasure.
Yeah.
With pleasure, yes, of course, yes.
Great, thank you, thank you. We may plan future webinars on some web tools like this, okay,
yes.
for these specific ones. It's really amazing how you could use technology and such web tools or coding tools to work on an authentic project about a vital issue, which is the environment or green behavior. Okay, that's really very interesting. I am actually really impressed. Thanks for the mighty efforts and the time you put into the project to collaborate and globally collaborate and enhance your students' life skills and behavior. Great. I'm wondering whether some colleagues have questions for you. Okay, so questions. Anybody raising? Mrs. Hatvi? Yes, I guess. No? I don't know. Any questions?
Clapping, you know.
Sorry?
I'm impressed myself, and I was clapping them. Standing ovation to all the team members. This is really great. I mean, project, and I hope that it's going to inspire many of our colleagues present today. So thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and thank you for sharing your work with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. I guess Mrs. Ahlem is raising her hand and she got a question. Yes. Yes, over to you. Yes, you can just unmute your mic and ask your question. Yes, Mrs. Ahlem, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. I would really thank my colleagues for their great presentations. I'm really interested and impressed, especially that I just really want training for them to give us training on Scratch. I have tried, but I really failed. Concerning the presentation, I'm just wondering how we can ensure the maximum or the best participation of all students when we go through PBL, project-based learning like these ones, and make sure that no student is really left behind. I'm wondering whether the whole class has participated, just some students, how my colleagues have gone through that and ensured the maximum participation. As we know all that in PBL, what matters is to structure the curriculum around the project, not the product. I mean, not the presentation itself is the hub of the whole work. This is my because when I try to go through such a project, simple projects in class, sometimes I really find the students who are ready to participate, others do not. So if such thing happens, I think we have missed or we are missing a great part or the most important part in PBL. That's it.
I can
you
take
in
the
advance.
question if you want to. I want to tell you that I am not a good scratcher as well, but it's very, very important on eTwinning to rely on your project partners. It's very important to know that there are other people who are better at that, and somehow, like the puzzle that Imen showed you, we complete each other. And for working on Scratch, I did really rely on my students, because even if we were starters and we comfortable started the Scratch and the others helped us improve the work, it was really important to have the students lead, to let the students lead. And for the other question, I work with the entire class. I don't like, the idea is to implement the project in the curriculum. It's not about the impressive presentation, it's about the work process, and you have seen that we insisted on it a lot. It's about what they accomplish as a whole group, because we really want to develop competencies for everyone. So I work with the entire class, and if you have seen the transnational teams, Imen was presenting them to you, there are mixed teams and no student is left behind. So somehow they get to be responsible, because the work cannot be done without their contribution. This is how I did it, but I'm sure that my colleague will complete it, because this is what we do. We work together and complete each other.
Yes, excellent, Emese. For me, in my curriculum, but I must use the PBL. I am ICT teacher, a computer science teacher, so we have to teach and we have to use the approach project-based learning, so that all my students, they have to do their tasks, they have to follow the work process. And I choose this project for my 8th level, because in my curriculum I have Scratch program. So we have choose the climate change and the green behavior code as an idea to try to have an idea ideas with Scratch by coding. And the Scratch is a very easy tool to use in the class. It's not difficult, and it's integrated in our curriculum. Okay, integrated in my curriculum as an ICT teacher.
Yes, thank you. That's really interesting. Can I ask maybe a question? I mean, relating to Mrs. Ahlam's question. Maybe she or other colleagues want to know how you could facilitate PBL remotely. I mean, what are the challenges you're facing, or if ever you're facing challenges? Challenges like connections, partnerships, and this type of hybrid learning strategy. Yes.
I will take the question because I worked remotely. So
Okay.
there were moments when I had to have special tutorials for them just to explain the work that has to be done. More spreadsheets and tables so that everyone is aware of the tasks and to-dos. It was okay for me as a teacher, and it helped them as students as well. And flexibility from my colleagues, because since we integrated the project into the curriculum and we had the meetings as well, according to the schedules, which was a little bit harder to do it, but we managed to have lessons when I had lesson and my students joined from home, and the rest of my colleagues entered from their classes. I mean, it's about flexibility and about the ability and the, I don't know, wanting to work together, really commitment, yeah, and wanting to help the project move on, and letting others help you, because we were teachers of different disciplines and students of different levels, and everyone had steps on. I mean, everyone progressed, and I think this is why we do. I mean, this is why I do projects. So it doesn't really matter if it's remote learning. Maybe it's a little bit harder for teachers to plan, but it's about passion in doing projects. And if the team is very well organized, and we had an extremely organized and helpful coordinator, so it wasn't hard.
Great, yes, that's really outstanding. I mean, coordinating or collaborating from having teams from Romania, Spain, Italy, Tunisia, that's really outstanding. Yes, not that easy, I know. Good. Any other questions? Yes? Yes, please. Any questions or comments? Yes, you can share your appreciations or thank colleagues if you wish. Yes.
Yes, I do have a question.
Good. Who's that? This is Helen.
I'm Helen.
Okay.
What's the difference between a teacher presenting a project and a pupil or a student presenting a project? When we talk about project-based learning, what do we mean when it's involved in a lesson, or if it's a student presenting about a topic, any topic, may it be about pollution or communication or voluntary work, or I don't know what can be the topic. Do you understand my question?
I'm sorry, I myself can't figure out what you mean. Mrs. Imen, can you understand? You got the point? No, either.
What's the difference between a pupil presenting that is giving feedback about a topic and a teacher that is present or doing her work based on a project that is, for example, it is all researched, it's all from the internet, it's all digital. That is, for example, there is a show that is showing a data show used. What's the difference between a pupil presenting a project and a teacher?
Shall I just perhaps I got my friend?
Imen?
Yes, shall I just, I think Mrs. Hella over here is talking about the difference between a simple project and PBL itself. Simple project that you ask a student to prepare something about, for example, pollution. Let's take the example of this project, environment, and come to the board just to present it. And a project, as my friends have just presented today, that's something else. That's really something else. That's learning through the project. That's the syllabus, the curriculum structured, if you like, through the project itself. So in a simple project, that's the product that matters. And we can't over here ensure, make sure even that learning has happened. Something, do you hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes.
And through PBL, that's something else. It's a whole process. The process itself of learning English, of learning topics, of learning skills through the project. As my Romanian friend has just explained it to me, she said that it's illustrated there. There is a process. So that's PBL, simple project, nothing to do with PBL, let's say. That's the final product. You cannot make sure whether the student, it's, I mean, with a project-based learning, there is deep learning, there is, yeah? Please?
Yes.
Yes.
Please carry on.
Yes,
Yes,
Ms.
carry on.
Hela,
That's very
I think,
interesting.
I
Yes.
think that's what she meant when she said a project and the teacher involved in PBL, not just the teacher, the students, the parents, the community, partners. If you like, there is display of the work. There is public work. I mean, a product or something to present towards the end. There is public, as my colleagues, for example, illustrated here and showed us, displayed that they had a live meeting, something like that, to display the work. There is learning, there is a code created, there is ICT, or let's say a digital literacy, there is critical thinking. They looked for whether this information is, let's say, the source of the information. So too much, if you like, something deep is there in PBL, not just a simple project you come to the board to present. That's the difference.
Yes.
Yes,
excellent.
Yes, the PBL is, I can resume that the PBL is many simple projects plus learning. So we learn from these simple projects and we have a work process to follow. And finally, we have some soft skills to achieve through the PBL. That's all.
Yes,
Let me just add that it was an excellent presentation. It actually, it's different perspective of teachers and students. It's all about the project, all about the process of the work. It's not about what they can show at the end. Anyway, we have at the end products as well, but it's about what they achieve. So thank you so much to our colleague for emphasizing it. This was the main idea of the project, and this is the main idea of e-twinning project and of PBL.
Definitely.
It's about the process and about the achievements of the students. And I think this is way deeper than creating something just for the sake of presenting it, which is on surface, I think.
Yes, you're right. Excellent. So there is that issue we focus on. You want our students to learn something. We focus on the process. Okay, great. I love the interaction. Thank you. Yes, I guess that's clear enough. Yes, I guess Mrs. Basma Marawi got a question as well. Yes, Mrs. Marawi? Yes, can you hear us, Mrs. Basma? You got a question? She's not there. I don't know whether she can hear us.
I do have another question, if I can.
Yes, sure.
About evaluating a project. How to, not okay, to put it bluntly, how to grade it. That is, what should a pupil present? That is what is more important when evaluating him or her. How he interacts with his partner, the information, the extra, that is
Interesting question.
pictures, the
Yes, very interesting indeed. Yes,
Yes.
can you please tell us about evaluation, how you evaluated the projects and your students' learning?
Yes, in fact, we have made 3 types of evaluation. The
Yes.
first for partners. So for us, we are 4 partners. So we have used Google Forms to evaluate the project. It is integrated in our curriculum. If we have some difficulties, which are the contribution and the participation of each partner in all the activities, etc. And we describe the project in 2 words. For the students, we have made Mentimeter as collaborative tool. In fact, each student writes the activities that they are done by each student, and they choose. Yes, they choose the activities done by each student. Yes, and finally we have made evaluation for parents using Google Forms. The impact of the project on your child, positive or negative effects, and describing, I think, the project. And the parent have to write his or her name and the country, and they are free to write with Italian or Arabic or Spanish or Romanian language, and also they can write with English language or French also. That's all. So we have made 3 types of evaluation with different questions according to teachers, students, and parents too.
Good, very interesting. I guess the parental involvement is very interesting and engaging to students. Yes.
Yes, because in Tunisia and especially in Romania, we have done most all the activities online because of the conditions in our country. That's all. All the students almost done the activities of the project at home. So we decide to engage the parents in the evaluation of the project.
Yes, and you are always there to assess things like collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. I mean, all along the process, you are mentoring that.
Yes.
Yes, great. Thank you. Okay, any other questions, Mrs. Marawi? Maybe still raising your hand. Can you please unmute your mic, Mrs. Marawi? Can you hear us? Yes. Mrs. Marawi, yes. Okay. Yes, over to you. Okay.
I was talking, I have participated and I thought you stopped me or something like this. So when you said you wanted appreciation, so I said that I like the project, and I wanted to answer someone who asked about a normal project and the PBL project. Normally, as English teachers, we are supposed to work on PBL projects rather than normal projects. So some teachers maybe don't know this, but this is the essence of the projects, in fact. So working on a project is not making a research online and typing information and just presenting them, being presented by the pupils. So it should be, as Mrs. Imen said, a process controlled by the teacher, corrected maybe in certain cases, and finally presented. Whether the presentation is by the pupil, whether a PBL, I think PBL should be what we are supposed to work on with our pupils. The presentation is important by the pupil, but the process is also important.
Yes.
And it will be evaluated by the teacher as well.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Mari. Yes, excellent. Mrs. Svei, yes. Any other questions? Mrs. Ahlim? No?
Not really, sorry.
Okay, thank you. I just see you're raising your hand. Okay. All right, shall we recap or any other questions? Yes. I guess no more questions. Besides, it's 8 o'clock or past 8. Yes. So
Mrs. Lema, please.
yes, please.
Just
yes.
perhaps
Yes.
We tend to talk about projects. I would say thematic projects on the environment, on solving problems, all that stuff. But we would really like some presentations or something, perhaps literature or survey on, let's say, some projects on grammar, for example, teaching grammar, how to project-based learning to certain grammatical structures or something, not just a thematic project.
I don't know, actually. I can't figure out what you mean. Projects,
I mean,
not thematic projects, but projects on grammar.
For example, yeah, that's what I want really to say. PBL is restrictive just to thematic projects, or we can carry, let's say, we can just embark upon projects on teaching grammar and let's say vocab, not just to focus on the theme. That's what I really mean, but we don't really have a solid background or something we can just use to start, or if what I am saying is true, is let's say something we can do, or I'm talking nonsense. That's what I wanted to discuss.
It is not nonsense, but it's more like for the teacher. I truly understand your question, because I have these questions. Usually, I teach literature, and I have noticed that when I try to force them to a project that it's really for my needs, they don't really feel like it's their project, and students don't work so good on them like when they have thematic ones and they really can have their voices heard. This is how it works for me. So when they are truly the actors and of course guided by teachers, but when they have their voices heard and they can contribute to the project, the learning is better, and I can anyway communicate and teach them grammar on any topic. So this is how I solved it. I don't know if you have a better idea. I'm here to
yes, you mean that the project itself, even thematic, is inclusive to grammar or whatever.
Exactly. You can teach them grammar and vocabulary on any topic, as long as they feel that the topic is there and they can contribute, and I can correct and help them with grammar.
Yeah, sure, yes. Yes, that's yes. Thank you.
Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, okay. So grammar is always fostered for projects, I mean thematic projects actually. Okay. Yes, any other questions? Still ready to answer questions, Mrs. Imen? Okay. Well, I don't know, I guess we shall recap. So here we come to the end of our webinar today. Thank you all for attending and for your attention. Thank you to our speakers for the outstanding work. That's really excellent. We can see how authentic experiences, global collaboration, and partnerships with colleagues from abroad is so enriching, motivating, and impactful. And we can see that is possible through eTwinning. So we can see how through project-based learning and technology, we can make a difference. We can foster our students' life skills, and that's what matters. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Mrs. Imen. Thank you, Mrs. Emese or Emese, I don't know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, you're welcome. Okay, see you in our next webinar next month, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
With all your projects, I'm convinced they are going to be extraordinary because you are passionate and involved, and I think this is the essence of learning. Thank you, Imen, for having me here, and wishing you all.
Thank you so much. We will share a recording of this webinar in our group. Please share, Mrs. Imen, please share a link to your YouTube, where you have the projects. Can you?
You want the link of the presentation?
No, I mean the projects you had. Mrs. Emese has been talking about YouTube channel where she got the projects.
Yes.
Can you share that?
Yes, okay, of course.
Because we didn't watch and there was no sound, and why not have a look?
We have all the links. We have all the links in the Sway presentation, and the email will share it with you.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so we can have the links there to share with colleagues. Thank you so much. So kind, and thanks for the sharing spirit. That's excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you all. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mrs. Monria. Thanks.